Fingal. You're not a prisoner here.
With only one episode left after this from season 3, seems it might be giving us a few more answers to some of the questions that we've had since season 1. We know how the faraway trees were created, we know time travel is now an aspect of the story, but this week really slows down the pace to split most of the episode between all the different characters looking for Fatima. And my time travel reincarnation time loop theory might also have been confirmed. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link to it at the end. But as always, I'm Al, this is the Geek in Review, and I'm going to be talking about from Season 3, Episode 9, so if you haven't seen it, this will contain spoilers. So the episode opens with Boyd and Ellis searching for Fatima, who's been surprisingly taken by Elgin for some reason that's probably to do with her baby. We do get a little bit more information on this later on in the episode, but as always, not too much when it comes to this show. While searching, Boyd's physical problems seem to be back, i.e. his Parkinson's. While they're looking for her, Elgin is trying to convince Fatima that all this, of course, is for her best interest. And Fatima tells him that she's been seeing the visions of the woman in white as well, and she doesn't believe that she's telling the truth. But she doesn't say what exactly this truth is. Elgin seems to know as much or more than Fatima about what's going on here and their condition, but like Fatima, he doesn't give anything away. He seems to think the baby is guiding them and they need to let all this play out. And oh yeah, I was right about him giving her the blood to drink, so chalk that one up. So my question here with Fatima, is it a life force thing or a life for a life kind of vampire thing? I'm honestly not too sure at this stage, but what do you guys think? Tabitha is still trying to help Victor come to terms with what happened 40 years ago in the town and the fact that he's responsible for his mother's death, probably his sister's death, and that massacre as well. And Tabitha's story, as always this season, takes a lot of twists and turns this week. As Victor tries to leave, Tabitha stops him, and she has this weird sort of moment as if she's sensing something or having a vision. And even Sarah notices it because that's all Sarah's got to do this week. Let's be honest, they've not done a lot with Sarah this season. Kenny interrupts them to tell them what's happened to Julie while she's been out in the woods with Ethan, and she seems to be fine after her time-hopping adventure last week, but I'm not entirely sure she realises exactly what happened to her. She remembers the ruins, but then says she doesn't remember anything else, explaining it all as if it was a dream. Which Randall is still hearing and seeing the bugs, but I don't know what that means either. So far we haven't got anything weird from Marielle this season, so hopefully we might find out what she's seeing or what she will see next week. Someone else having visions is Sarah begins to hear voices again, so I guess they're finally doing something with her this season after all. Boyd and Ellis are still worried about Donna spilling the beans about Fatima's secret, as Sarah walks in to tell them that the voices told her that Fatima has been taken by something, not someone, something, and I think that's important, and that she is close by and that they won't find her in time. Now, you'd naturally assume that this means in time by the fact that she's going to die before they find her, but what if she's going to give birth? Because her pregnancy does seem to be accelerated this week. Also, if she is going to die and Boyd can't save her, is this going to be the thing that finally breaks him? I'm not too sure about that. Decide to hold a town meeting to let them know a little bit of what's going on and plan what to do next. Most of the townspeople show up for the meeting and Boyd tells them about Fatima being missing, but misses out the whole murder of Tilly thing and eating dead people and dead food, which is probably going to come back to bite him in the ass at some point, no doubt. They decide to go and cover the towns in groups of 2 so they can do it more quickly, and I instantly thought, oh man, someone's going to get picked off here, but they actually just use all these pairing ups for sort of exposition or catch-up scenes throughout the episode. I think more than any other episode this season, it follows the most characters all the time, and that kind of really affects the pace of the episode, but I'll get to that later on in the video. While all this is going on in town, Jade's still investigating the bottle trees and is still seeing visions and trying to solve, the whole meaning of life in the town and escape situation. Henry wants to talk to him about Victor, and we learn that Jade never knew his father, or at least he wasn't around for a good portion of his life. And it was kind of weird to bring this up in season 3, and I'm not sure if this is going to be important later on. Victor, who's been declining the last 3 episodes, is now on a mission to destroy the faraway tree that his mother took to disappear, which is also the other bottle tree as well, when the boy in white shows up to stop him. The boy tells him that the tree's important and he's given up helping the people in the town and they need to find out everything for themselves. Victor does draw attention to the fact that the boy has aged, and it's explained that his appearance is linked to the weather and the changes in the town, and I absolutely love that little detail, and I love that they can do it for the boy in white because they can't do it for Ethan. He doesn't actually tell Victor anything more than this, but he seems to need the tree for something or think that it's going to be needed later on. Julie finally tells her mum about her time-hopping adventure last week, but as I said earlier on, she doesn't really know what any of it means yet, and as she's telling her, the creepy kids are watching on, or at least one of them are, but only Tabitha can see, beckoning her into the woods to the wine cellar where Fatima is being kept. So she enters, and Tabitha seems to have another vision similar to the one she had earlier on when she touched Victor. So I really wonder what's going on with this, because at the same time, Tabitha is just literally feet and a couple of walls away. Of course, she's found another door behind the secret door, although this one's more of a hatch, and I won't make a lost reference on that. You know exactly what I mean. But how many secret doors do you need? That's the question I'm going to ask. You find Victor just standing there talking about the last time, and this is the last place that she's seen his mother, still blaming himself for all that stuff that happened that night 40 years ago. So of course she tries to comfort and hugs him, but as she does this, she sees another vision, almost as if it's a memory, which really does make me think that this is some sort of reincarnation time loop that's going on. She sees Smiley attack Victor's mother, and that's pretty much where the episode ends. So yeah, considering it's the second last episode of the 3rd season and the pace has kind of picked up over the last few, I was a little bit disappointed that this week sort of decided to catch us up with all the characters and where they're at. There was a lot of scenes, especially the stuff with Ellis and Elgin in the woods wandering about, that I didn't think were absolutely necessary, as we didn't really learn anything else, so I guess they were just there to create tension. It also makes me wonder how they're going to tie all this together and how they're going to give us answers, because they have promised that we are going to get them in the finale. But I want to know, as always, what did you guys think about this episode? Do you agree with me that it was a little bit muddled and all over the place, or did you really enjoy it? Also, what do you think about the time loop reincarnation theory? I don't think I'm 100% right on everything, but I definitely think that's the vibe that they're throwing out here. I am still really enjoying the show despite some criticisms, and I'm curious to see what's going to happen in the finale and where it's going to go. Although we're at the end of season 3, a season 4 renewal hasn't been announced yet, but it seems more than likely at this point. But what do you guys think? What's going to happen in the finale? What do you want? What do you hope? What do you expect? Let me know in the comments below, or you can reach out to me on Twitter at The Geeks Reviews. And as always, if you've made it this far, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already, leave a like on the video, and as always, my name's Al. Thanks for watching.